You sound like me when you have me on here reading for. Tell me when you need a break, because you sound like me when I've
This is
been reading
long
for
reading,
30,
so
30, 40 minutes. No, but you know how I get tongue tied after I've been doing it for a while. So if you would like a break, I'm following along, and
no,
just tell me whenever.
no. I'll do this last sentence, and then I'll let you read something.
Okay.
Neoplatonism also had a strong influence on the perennial philosophy of the Italian Renaissance thinkers Marcello Ficino and Giovanni
All right.
Pico della Mirandola, and continues through 19th century universalism in modern day spirituality.
Meister Eckhart. He sounds familiar. Eckhart. I don't know. There's somebody else that with Eckhart. Like I don't know who he is though, but he sounds really, really familiar to me. And I think it's crazy what Porphyry stood up for, and what like I fight. I feel our morals and our beliefs parallel a lot. In regards to just like some not completely denouncing Christian teaching because it's incorporative, but to not focus so much on the religious aspect of the teachings as much as the lessons of the teaching. And I just think that's interesting. I wonder if he's reincarnated within as well.
Now, they do have a page on him, and he was a mystic, so we could use him on our strangeness topic too,
Okay.
because
Meister Eckhart. Let me
that
pull
would
him up.
actually be that'd go nicely with it.
Okay.
We could actually go through and see what he was about and stuff. So they said he also went by Eckert von Hochheim, commonly known as Meister Eckert or Meister Eckhart or Eckhart.
I
Claimed
see him.
original name Johannes.
No. I thought
Eckhart.
this was for strangeness. Hold on. Time out. No,
No,
let's go.
no. I mean, no. I ain't doing that. I'm just going over his name because you were saying his name sounded familiar, so I put the mouse over it. That's all.
Oh, I
Don't.
thought you were. Because look, that's the first paragraph. I done pulled up the Wikipedia so I could bookmark it for me to make sure I have whenever we do strangeness.
Yeah.
And you're reading. I was like, wait.
I just
You're going
wanted
straight
to
to some
make the name known. My
I see
goodness.
Right,
My
I know you're
goodness.
going so far ahead of yourself. Let's go back to Porphyry. You sound like me now. Look at you with your distractions.
So now, we have Porphyry, alright? And now I want to go through some of the intangible, the stuff that he was talking about, auxiliaries to the perception of intangible nature. And there's a lot of these too, so I'm gonna give you the link and let you read some of them because
I was going to ask you too, are we going to click the page in the book? Because I clicked the page in the book and they have this whole thing on Porphyry, Malachus of Tyre. Are we going to touch on that before joining the was born in Tyre, studied in Athens before joining the Platonic group of Plotinus in Rome? Are
yeah,
we?
I got most of that off the. You're talking about Plotinus, right?
No, Porphyry of
Porphyry.
Tyre. Yeah, when I clicked in our book,
Uh-huh.
it says please see linked page, and so I click the linked page, and then it pulls up a pretty sizable description and account for works and events in regards. That's why I was just wondering. That might be a little bit more
Yeah.
referable than
Just
Wiki.
just so you get an idea of the amount of reading. Click on that last link that I just posted.
Oh, I just did. Tertullian.org. What is this? Let me put it on the big screen because this is whoa.
Okay, so this is auxiliary to the perception of the intelligible natures. Okay, this is what makes up the Neoplatonists. This is what their philosophy is. So,
You ready for
um,
me to read, or you?
yeah, let me see exactly how far down
This
this.
is like wild. Yeah, we can maybe a
See,
section two. That's
see if we can,
33.
yeah, see if we can read to section 1. If it gets too tiring, man, we'll stop because
Okay.
it's pretty lengthy. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Auxiliary is the perception of intelligible natures. Everybody is in place, but nothing essentially incorporeal or anything of this kind has any locality. Things essentially incorporeal, because they are more excellent than all body and place, are everywhere, not with interval, but impartably, impartably, yeah. Number three, things essentially incorporeal are not locally present with bodies, but are present with them when they please, by verging towards them so far as they are naturally adapt so to verge. They are not, however, present with them locally, but through habitude, proximity, and alliance. So just so I can make sure I'm listening to what I understand, is basically we're one with nature, but we might not be joined with bodies, but we're joined with like spirit, basically type. Is that what?
Yeah, because they're saying that we're essentially incorporeal and not locally present with bodies, but are present with
Yeah,
them,
we're incorporated within the body, and that's why we're able to astral travel, and our spirit is able to be other places. See, that makes
verging
sense to me.
verging towards them so far as they are naturally adapted so to verge.
Number four, things essentially incorporeal are not present with bodies, but hypothesis and essence. Hypothesis, hypostasis. By
Hypostasis.
hypostasis and
Yeah.
essence. For they, yeah, I knew the word. I knew I was saying it wrong. That's why I said it wrong incorrectly enough times for me to remember how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Kind of
For
like
they are not
Sanitarian.
mingled, huh?
Kind of like Sanitarian. Like,
Oh, look at you, Sanity Nathan, Sanity Nathan, Sanity Nathan. For they are not mingled with bodies, but they impart a certain power which is proximate to bodies through verging towards them. For tendencies constitutes a certain secondary power proximate to bodies. 5. Soul, indeed, is a certain medium between an impartible essence and an essence which is divisible about bodies. But intellect is an impartible essence alone, and qualities and material forms are divisible about bodies. 6. Not everything which acts on another affects that which it does affect by approximation and contract, but those natures which affect anything by approximation and contact use approximation accidentally. 7. The soul is bound to the body by a conversion of the corporeal passions and again liberated by becoming impassive to the body. That's interesting. That's what that
mm-hmm.
is. Quella prima, cappuccino. That person. Excuse me, that which nature binds nature, any desire, that which nature binds nature also dissolves, and that which the soul binds, the soul likewise dissolves. Nature, indeed, bound the body to the soul, but the soul binds herself to the body. Nature, therefore, liberates the body from the soul, but the soul liberates herself from the body. Hence, there is a twofold death. The one, indeed, universally known, in which the body is liberated from the soul, but the other, peculiar to philosophers, in which the soul is liberated from the body. Nor does the one entirely follow the other. 10. We do not understand similarity in all things, but in manner adapted to the essence of each. For intellectual objects, we understand intellectually, but those that pertain to soul rationally. We apprehend plants spermatically, but bodies ideologically. And that which is above all these, intellectually and super essentially. 11. Incorporeal hypostasis is descending, are distributed into parts, and multiplied about individuals with diminution of power,
Diminution.
yeah, it's diminution, but I know it's just domination. Oh, because it's long eye. Yes, with the
Okay,
domination
let
of
me
power.
let me do a search for you on there, and I'll get that word for you. I already have hypostasis, so
Now this thing is not talking to me like it was a second ago. It's being, it,
okay.
it's being
So
picky.
hypostasis, philosophy and religion, the essence of underlying reality.
Uh,
Hypostasis in linguistics is personification of entities. Hypostasis in literature is awareness of a fictional character, and their world is fiction. So that would be a little bit of those three things mixed together.
and
Now,
is
diminution
is
is
that how as it's pronounced,
yeah.
or is it die?
I mean, in Western music, the music theory diminution from medieval Latin diminutio, alteration of Latin diminutio, decrease, has four distinct meanings. Diminution may be a form of embellishment in which a long note is divided into a series of shorter, usually melodic values, also called coloration. Diminution may also be the compositional device where a melody, theme, or motif is presented in shorter note values than were previously used. Diminution is also the term for proportional shortening of the value of individual notes shaped in mensural notation, either by coloration or by a sign of proportion. A minor or perfect interval that is narrowed by the chromatic semitone is a diminished interval, and the process may be referred to as diminution. This too was sometimes referred to as coloration. Now, diminution as embellishment. Diminution is a form of embellishment or melody variation, which then that just goes all over it again. So, yeah, that's basically what they're talking about. So, the individual with a diminution of power. So that would be like, well, like they just said the perfect thing here. It would be an embellishment, like you know how notes have like a minor,
Bullet
you have
points,
A,
yeah,
then you
like I
have
had
minor
it.
A.
Yeah.
It would be like a
Music,
embellishment.
yeah, yeah, like high A, low A, yeah, flat,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's basically what they're talking about. It would and
I
multiply.
thought you would have said notes. I was thinking you were talking about like an outline and having like a header, and then having like when you have the outline, you have your header, and then you have your numbers, and then you have your little letters underneath. But you were talking about within music, like they were saying melodic, and then high G, low G, high A. Yeah, I know what you mean.
So incorporeal hypostasis is descending. In descending are distributed into parts, and they're diminished, and are into parts and multiplied.
About individual. Yeah.
Yeah, with a diminished amount of power.
Diminution of power. Diminution of power.
But when they ascend, yeah, there you go. That makes sense.
But when they ascend by their energies beyond bodies, they become united and proceed into a simultaneous subsistence through exuberance of power, which makes so much sense because it's like a power surge. That's why I be telling people like getting electrocuted. Everyone's so scared of it. But I could imagine if you got electrocuted while you were like with no restrictors, like no clothes, no, of course, no technology, because that would kind of blow it. But like if it was just you and electricity direct source, I imagine it creating and producing a power surge, making you smarter and stronger. Most people say that in most cases you would die, but I think the things that cause the issues when people get electrocuted are the restrictors, because most people are not naked somewhere getting electrocuted. They're usually touching something else, which we don't want to touch the ground, anything but just grass, you know what I mean? But like they're usually touching something else, something man-made. But if it was just you and a direct connection to like lightning in the middle of like an open field, like that's like one of my things on my bucket list. I know it sounds insane, but like to literally be like completely free and, you know what I mean, no inhibitors, because that's what I call closing, so they're inhibitors. And so those restrictors would actually produce a counter reaction, and so that's why your clothes end up burned, you know what I mean? That's why your clothes end up burned up. Like if you could just have they use electricity to restart the heart, but they use it and they're controlling it while it's a power surge through a machine. So if it was just straight directly from the source, just imagine the type of power you'd have. You know what I mean? Well, I mean,
now, you gotta remember too, like this is being written down way, way before electricity was ever even thought of. Like people,
and that's why I think it's cool, because it must be true. It makes me feel like I know. I've had this feeling for years.
I've got an idea that we need to hold off on this. We'll do 12 next, but hold off on this because this will be another one that would be good to add to what we're gonna do on what is that? Strangeness on Sunday, right?
Hey, yeah.
We need to go through this. This has got good stuff on there.
It does. It really does. I feel like it's more strangeness and stuff than it is in history. But it's history still. It's just, you know what I mean?
Now read the 12th one.
Okay.
And we'll stop there on this one and add this to the bucket list for that day. Because I think we got something good here.
That sounds good with me. The harmonious is not in bodies only, but life also is among the number of things which has a multifarious subsistence. For the life of a plant is different from that of an animated being. The life of an intellectual essence differs from that of the nature being, which is beyond intellect, and the physical differs from the intellectual life. For the natures live through nothing, which proceeds from them possesses a life similar to them. For these, nature lives through nothing, which proceeds from the possesses a life similar to them.
Now, right here too, this kind of sticks out to me as animalism.